I'm Owen Stalder, and I was born in Danbury, Connecticut in 2006, but then about 12 or so years ago, we moved here to American Fork for my dad's work. I think probably my longest lasting hobby, because I'm on and off of a lot of hobbies lately. I think my longest lasting one is model building and just tinkering with stuff. I always have to get hands-on and stuff like that. So some of my biggest interests are tanks. I have a ton of tanks, like World War II tanks are my favorites, and stuff like that. And so history, stuff like that. But then I also like to work on my car a lot. My car is kind of my baby. It's my pride and joy, And then I don't know. I like collecting a lot of army surplus, so old used army stuff. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. I think it all started with when I started playing World of Tanks when I was 10, and it just kind of spiraled from there. That's where I learned all the different tanks, and I think there was always a deep-rooted fascination that I never knew, and then that kind of just brought it to the surface. But then after that, I've been more into it evolved more into history, learning the history behind the stuff, and stuff like that. Just model building. It kind of goes along with my tanks and stuff. Most of the models I build are tanks, and a lot of them are remote control. And I've been deeply interested in remote control stuff. So first it was just fast remote control cars, and then recently it's been more of slower rock crawlers, realistic ones that have the articulation and everything, and they have linkage and stuff like that. And then it's kind of evolved to 3D printing. Behind me I have a lot of 3D printed parts, and I've been into 3D printing tanks, and so kind of combining those two interests, RC and tanks. And so I have 3D printed tanks that I've made, and I'm super proud of those, and yeah, I don't know, that's kind of been the thing that I've been most wrapped around lately and busy with, because it's very time consuming and stuff like that. And the painting's always the hardest. I hate painting. That's the worst part of any model building, is painting. That's where it's fun, but it's it stresses me out, because I'm proud of the model that I built, and then I feel this is a huge way for me to ruin the model accidentally, but it's mostly just me being in my head about it, But yeah, so that, and then I tried to get into RC planes for a little bit, but that ended quickly. I crashed a $300 plane into the ground at 50 miles an hour on my first flight, so that wasn't very fun. And then I got a refund from that, because I found a way to message the people who sent me it online and said it was defective. So they sent me a brand new one for free, and then I crashed that one too. And so then I was okay, maybe I shouldn't do planes.